All right, so something just happened in the filmmaking world that I feel like it needs to be talked about, and this is my space to be able to talk about shit. So let's talk about it. Warner Brothers has canned Coyote versus ACME. So this is a John Cena movie done in the same style as like Looney Tunes Back in Action or a Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and they've essentially just decided that despite positive reviews, they are going to just can the movie. Just completely can it and write it off. It's like a $30 million tax write-off. So everything about this just reeks of bullshit, and that the studio is not doing this. It reeks of this came from a prior regime and they don't want to essentially see it to fruition. And I think that's such bullshit. And honestly, so I had been on the side of, because this happened with Batgirl last year, or was it earlier this year? I think it's end of last year. And it was very controversial, and rightfully so. But there's part of you who's like, okay, maybe the movie was that bad. There's been bits and pieces that have come out about it that, yeah, it looked bad. Like it, I don't have a ton of faith in, I'm trying to think of the filmmaking duo. The third Bad Boys movie was awful, like absolutely terrible. So, I mean, that doesn't give me a ton of faith in that being a great movie. However, I mean, this is now evidence that we don't know the quality of Batgirl. It could have been amazing because clearly they just lie about shit and don't care and just want to. They're very much, they're thinking of the bottom line in a very weird way, which is they're looking at marketing costs for this film, and they're essentially going, marketing is too much money. We'd rather just completely can this and then be able to write it off. We'd get more back. Which is, it's so ridiculous because it also shows like you guys don't have a plan in place, because this was originally going to be HBO Max or Max now, a Max original, and it no longer is. They've dropped that, and I mean, they've dropped everything at this point, but how do you not just like throw this in theaters? John Cena is popular. You can absolutely just throw it in theaters. Very minimal advertising. Advertising on kids platforms, such as, advertising on like the Cocomelon YouTube channel or whatever the fuck. Kids advertising is relatively cheap compared to other stuff. Just give it a $5 million advertising budget. Very, very small. Just take advantage of your own like platform and advertise it on that. You don't have to go crazy with it. John Cena also does a ton of work on his own in terms of advertising, which most actors' fees, it's filming, it's promotion. So you've already paid John Cena. Why not just utilize that? Have him promote like he does for fucking everything. The more holes you poke in it, the more it just makes zero sense. Especially when then you find out that this was getting 90s from test audiences. Which, yes, test audiences aren't always the end all be all of, smart and on the pulse people, but clearly it shows that it was entertaining, that it was fun, which the moment that this was even announced, I thought it sounded fun. And then the reviews came out saying or not reviews, but the screening reactions came out, and it seemed like, yes, they nailed it. I saw one reaction said it was the best live action cartoon hybrid since Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's the gold standard. That's also keeping in mind that Chippendales released 2 years ago at this point, and I would say that is like the best live action hybrid, the cartoon hybrid since Roger Rabbit. So the fact that this apparently is better than that clearly shows it's disappointing. Every aspect of this is very disappointing. It shows that Warner Brothers is very just in their head in the sand, because if you're a respectable artist, why would you work with Warner Brothers? Like, why? You could then potentially, those long 17-hour days on set where you then have that thought in the back of your mind of, is this even gonna see the light of day? Like, is this even gonna happen? That shouldn't be happening on movies to this magnitude. There's a video that was released where it showed like behind the scenes of a lot of the crew member from this, and it just really spotlights how much you're just throwing away a lot of creative work. And it's really unfortunate too, because I mean, these CEOs are pointless. They're useless. They do nothing. They do nothing. I cannot say this enough. Movie studio CEOs they go to fucking lunches and dinners. It's all schmoozing. In terms of actual work, they do, I want to repeat this. They do nothing. Like, it is, and they get paid huge for it. So part of me, because I mean, for those that are unaware, Warner Brothers is like, was and I technically probably still is extremely close to going under. Like, I think there's even been rumors of Universal buying them out currently, or Amazon. I think Amazon too was looking. So they're not in a good spot, and that's why Zaslav was even brought in, because he's a businessman. He just cuts numbers. Where it's just like, but you don't actually do any. All you do is you're just like, oh, cut this without any thought of like repercussions. You could put me at the top of a company. Yeah, put me at the top of an oil company. I'll make fucking decisions. Yeah, I can do this, I can do that. They're not going to fucking be good decisions because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but that's kind of what is happening here. It's someone who clearly does not know the entertainment industry that then is doing this. So yeah, it's very upsetting. I don't know what will ever come of it. Hopefully it's a reckoning to the point that he gets let go, where it's, enough is enough, but I have no faith. When it comes to like corporate America, I have no faith in a CEO getting their comeuppance. If anything, if you're a CEO, you just tank a business, get a huge buyout, and then go to another company to then do the same. So it's 2023 for you. Yeah, very dystopian, very depressing, very very weird, and yeah. I hope that this is not the standard, but it seems to be happening more, and it's weird that this is Warner Brothers that it keeps happening with, and it's stuff that people want to see. It's not just like a random, because we'll hear about like, oh, this has been shelved. This movie, even though it starred so and so, it just sat in the Warner Brothers lot or vault, and like, yeah, that kind of thing happens, but not usually for stuff that people are actually looking forward to and want to see and pay for. So. Yeah, I don't know what's going to come of this. Hopefully some reckoning. Hopefully Zaslav gets fired. That's the only positive that could come from this, is a new regime, because it's a fucking mess over there.